And in fact, it's almost worth reminding people what a startup is. You know, when I was an entrepreneur, I always thought a startup was the things I did, which is I woke up in the morning and figured out how I was going to take over the entire world, if not the entire universe, and that's what a startup was. But I realized that there were a variety of definitions. In Silicon Valley, a startup is the place where you get free food and get to bring your dog. But you're not allowed to bring your children. I never figured that one out. But so I came up with a definition which might be helpful. A startup is a temporary organization designed to search for a repeatable and scalable business model.
That's really tight. Would you like to open that up for us a little bit?
I will, but it was designed to be like, you could say it in a sentence. Yeah. So number one is, I used to love startups. I did 8 of them, mostly because I was unemployable in a large company, so I had to do startups. A startup is a temporary organization, which means the goal of a startup is not to become a startup. What's the goal of a startup?
To grow.
To grow, to become a large company. So I put the word temporary organization just to remind ourselves that the goal is not to stay as a startup. Designed to search. Boy, that's interesting. I thought the goal of a startup is to grow and sell stuff or get sold or whatever. Actually, the goal of a startup, that early phase, is to answer a bunch of questions about your business model. It's a big idea. The goal in the early days is not to hire people and execute like you think you're correct. In fact, the data says, while you think you're a visionary, there's enough data across the world now to say, you're not a visionary, you're hallucinating. It's a big idea. And so, therefore, instead of wasting your time, we want you to search for a business model. Who are the customers? What's the right price? What's the right feature set? What's the right product market fit? And the way I want to do this is I want to get some evidence that this thing is the right business model, and I'll use MVPs to do that. But I'm looking for something that's repeatable. That is, I could do the same thing on Monday that works on Wednesday, that works next week, and scalable. That means for an input of 100 lira, I might get 200 lira back. Or for an input of a certain amount of dollars, I'll acquire so many customers. And so that's what the definition means. A startup is a temporary organization designed to search for a repeatable and scalable business model.
I think it's worth repeating. Startup is a temporary organization in search of repeatable and scalable business model. It's worth thinking about also.